Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing our JavaScript playlist, and today we're going to be looking at variables. So variables are basically containers that we use to store different types of values. When it comes to JavaScript, you do not need to actually write the type of the value the variable stores, unlike C++, which we saw in our previous playlist. In C++, if you were storing an integer, you had to say int something, or if you are storing a string, you would have to say string, then followed by the variable name. But in JavaScript, all you have to do is use the keyword we're going to see right now, then put in the name of our variable, and we can give it a value. So we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it variables.js. And in here, we're going to create our first variable. So in order to create a variable, you can either use the keyword let or the keyword var. But var is usually used in older versions of JavaScript. So in this playlist, we're going to be using the let keyword. So for example, let's say we wanted to store the age of somebody. So we would say let followed by the name of the variable. We can give this variable whatever name we want, but when you usually write code, you're going to give it a descriptive name. That means if it's going to store age, you should probably call the variable age. So in this case, we're going to have let age equal to 19, and finally we're going to put our semicolon. So this is going to create an age variable, and it's going to store the value 19 to it. So we can see this by printing it out to the terminal using console.log, and in parentheses we're going to pass in the variable name we just created, which is age, followed by a semicolon. We can save our file, go to the terminal and type in node followed by the name of our file, which is variables.js. As you can see, 19 gets printed out. We can also change the value we stored in the age variable by simply typing in the name followed by the new value we want to put in the age variable. So let's just put in 20. So when you reassign a value to a variable, you don't have to use the let keyword. So you only use the let keyword when you first create the variable. So again, we can console.log and put in the age variable, and we can run it. As you can see, 20 gets printed out. That is because we updated the value of age. There are different rules you have to follow when naming your variables. The first rule is that your variable must start with either a letter, an underscore, or a $sign. This means that your variable cannot start with numbers. So for example, you can't say let one age. This would be an error. Your variable names have to start with a letter, an underscore, or a $sign. Another thing about naming variables is that the names are case sensitive. That means let age is going to be different from let age with a capital. So these are going to be two different variables. And finally, you can't use keywords to create variable names. So for example, we'll see this later. New is a keyword in JavaScript. So if we were to say let new equals 20, we would get an error because new is a keyword in JavaScript. So this is all about variables in JavaScript. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily programming videos.